It began with a simple throw of a fishing net. But what Ada pulled from the water that day wasn't a fish. It was light, shimmering, trembling, alive. Inside his net lay a tiny creature with silver skin, eyes like cowrie shells, and a bronze tail that flickered like a dream. A mermaid child. In that moment, a poor fisherman's hunger turned to greed, and the sea took note. Because when a man steals from the ocean always takes something back. Beneath the waves, a mother's cry echoed through coral palaces, a cry that would shake heaven and earth. And on the night she rose from the sea, no one in Ada's village would ever sleep peacefully again. If this tale already gives you chills, make sure to like, subscribe, and share so you don't miss more African folk tales that stir the soul. And tell me in the comments, what would you do if the sea came to reclaim what you stole, right? Ready to dive deeper? Let's begin the story of the Mermaid's Revenge. The sun had long begun to fade when Ada, a weary fisherman, cast his net for the last time. The river whispered against the rocks, gentle but empty, like a mother tired of giving. He had caught nothing all day. His wife Lena would be waiting with silent eyes and an empty pot. But as his net sank into the dark water, something strange happened. A pulse of light shimmered beneath the surface. Ada frowned. "What is that?" he whispered. When he pulled the net up, it resisted, heavy, alive. The threads trembled. Then it glowed. Inside the net was not fish, not gold, but a small creature glowing like the moon trapped underwater. Her silver skin sparkled. Her eyes were round like cowrie shells, and her tail shimmered bronze in the fading sun. In her trembling hands, she held a single red apple. For a moment, the river went silent. Even the birds seemed to hold their breath. Then the villagers nearby screamed, "Water spirit, mommy water," and ran for their lives. Ada did not move. He just stared. For a fisherman who had only ever caught hunger, this felt like a miracle. "The river has finally paid me," he whispered. He wrapped the little mermaid in his cloth, ignoring the way her tail flicked sadly, as if begging to return to the water. That night, lightning flashed across the horizon. Lena gasped when she saw what Ada carried. "You brought a spirit into this house," she cried, stepping back. "You know, the sea never gives without taking." Ada's eyes glittered with a dangerous kind of hunger. "She's the river's gold," he said. "We'll be rich. People will come from every village to see her." Fear and desire clashed between them like thunder and rain. Far beneath the waves, in coral palaces lit by glowing shells, a mother felt her heart break. Oluno, princess of the sea folk, sensed her daughter's absence like a hole in her own soul. "Taken," whispered the ocean currents. "Taken by men." The grief carried through the waters until it reached the throne of Queen Atlantia, ruler of all oceans. The queen's voice rumbled like thunder underwater. "Humans have forgotten the law," she said. "They take what belongs to the sea without paying the tide." Oluno bowed deeply. "Then let me go to them. Let me bring my child home." But the queen warned her to walk on land. "You must trade your tail for legs, and your breath for pain. You will belong to neither sea nor sky." Oluno closed her eyes, her voice steady but trembling. "Then I will suffer, but I will bring her home." And with that, Queen Atlantia raised her trident. A bright surge of light swept through shells and seaweed. The ocean screamed, and Oluno became a woman. Back in Ada's house, days passed. The mermaid child wept softly, her tears leaving trails of salt on the floor. She was weak, frightened, far from home. Only one person dared come close to her, Ada's young daughter, Annabel. Annabel brought her small gifts, bread, a mango, and her gentle smile. "Don't cry," she whispered. "I'm your friend." The little mermaid blinked, unsure at first, then reached for her hand. That single touch, two small hands meeting, felt like magic. From that moment, something beautiful began to grow between them. Annabel sang songs from the village. The mermaid, whom she named Meili, sang songs from the deep. Songs that made the palm leaves tremble and the water dance in bowls. But Lena's fear grew like weeds. She bring trouble. She warned Ada. The river will come for us. Ada only laughed. The river will bring fame. That night, the sky darkened without clouds. The river began to rise, though no rain had fallen. From the mist, a tall woman walked barefoot through the sleeping village. Her hair dripped water. Her eyes glowed like storms. She called herself Amina, but the river knew her true name, Oluno, when she saw Meili weak. Trembling, her glow fading, Oluno's heart cracked. She turned to Ada, her voice low and calm, but heavy with thunder. The river will not forgive this, she said. Ada felt his chest tighten, though the air was warm. For the first time, he felt the weight of what he had done. But it was too late, because once the sea rises, it does not stop until it claims what was stolen. That night, the village wind changed. The air grew heavy, tasting of salt. Ada could not sleep. He sat by the window, staring at the river that now shimmered faintly red like blood mixed with moonlight. Suddenly, the door creaked. A cool wave of air entered the room, though no breeze stirred outside. When he turned, he froze. Standing there was Amina Oluno, the woman from the river. Water dripped from her hair, forming tiny pools on the floor. Her eyes glowed faintly, like lightning before a storm. "Where is my daughter?" she asked softly. Ta's mouth opened, but no words came. The word daughter cut him deeper than any blade. He knew now this was no spirit, no myth. This was a mother fear took him. He stepped back, but the air around her began to tremble. Invisible waves lifted him off the ground. He gasped for air, clutching his throat. "You took what was mine," Oluno said, her voice echoing like thunder rolling through deep water. "You stole my child." Ada's legs kicked helplessly in the air. His eyes rolled back, his skin turning pale. Just then, the door burst open. Lena screamed. Annabel ran forward, tears streaming down her face. "Please don't hurt my father." The little girl cried. Oluno turned and her rage softened. She saw not greed in the child's eyes, but innocence. Her glowing eyes dimmed. Slowly, she lowered her hand. Ata fell to the ground, coughing and trembling. "Tell me," she said, her voice now a trembling whisper. "Where is my daughter?" Lena, shaking, pointed toward the road. A man came, a scientist. He took her. He said he would protect her. Oluno's jaw tightened. The air around her rippled again with unseen power. "Then we go," she said simply. And so, in the darkness before dawn, they set out, Oluno, Ada, Lena, and little Annabel joined by an old fisherman named Ofimi. The river guided them, its current glowing faintly as if lighting their path. By morning, thunder rolled across the sky. The wind howled like voices of the drowned. They reached a cold white building near the city, a laboratory. Inside, Meili sat under bright lights, weak but alive. Tubes tangled around her like vines. Dr. Martin, the scientist, studied her with cold fascination. When Oluno saw her daughter through the glass, her heart broke. "Hold on, my child," she whispered. "Mother is here." The door burst open. Ada stepped inside first, his voice strong for the first time. "No more," he said. "No more stealing from the sea." Dr. Martin turned, eyes wide. "You don't understand. She's proof of evolution," but he didn't finish. Oluno raised her hand and the lights exploded. The water in the tanks began to rise, spinning around the room like a living storm. Meili's eyes opened, glowing bright blue. The ocean had heard her call. They fled into the rain, carrying Meili in Ada's arms. The bridge cracked beneath them. The river surged higher, roaring with fury. Ada turned to Oluno, voice breaking. "Forgive me," he whispered. Then splash! The bridge gave way. Silence swallowed them. Underwater, Oluno's magic awoke again. Her legs shimmered, splitting into a powerful tail. Her eyes burned with sea fire. She wrapped Ada and Annabel in her arms and lifted them to the surface. The storm calmed as they reached the shore. Lena was waiting, crying in the rain. When she saw Meili alive, her fear melted into awe. "I was wrong," she whispered. She was never a curse. Days later, Annabel returned to the river to say goodbye. The water glowed softly. Suddenly, the current pulled her under. She gasped, but instead of drowning, she felt a hand take hers. Meili was there. The mermaid smiled and pressed her forehead against Annabel's gaze. Light surrounded them. Annabel opened her eyes underwater, and she could breathe. Her legs shimmered, transforming into a silver tail. The river had chosen her. Meili showed her the kingdom below, coral towers, singing fish, and glowing caves where no shadow dared to enter. Queen Atlantia appeared, her crown shining like dawn. "Love has crossed the boundary," she said softly. For a while, peace returned. But humans are never satisfied with mystery. Dr. Martin found them again, using a tracker hidden inside Meili's body. Machines invaded the sea. The ocean raged. Whales and serpents rose like guardians. A final battle tore the water apart. Oluno's cry shook the sky, and Queen Atlantia struck with her trident, melting the great machine like wax. When the storm ended, the sea fell silent once more. Before leaving, Meili hugged Annabel tightly. "Whenever you hear running water," she whispered, "I'll be there." Annabel returned home no longer just a fisherman's child, but a keeper of the sea's secret. By the riverbank, the villagers built a shrine of two girls, one with legs, one with fins, their hands joined forever. And every full moon, the river glows faintly red, like the apple that began it all. Some say if you press a shell to your ear, you can still hear laughter beneath the waves. A reminder that love, when it's true, can bridge even the impossible. And that, my friend, is the legend of the Mermaid's Revenge. Story of greed, love, and forgiveness, where even the sea remembers what is taken. If this tale touched your heart, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell, because next time we dive into another mystery from the deep, the river that spoke in a woman's voice. Until then, keep your nets light, your heart kind, and never forget, the ocean is watching.